Yo, what's up guys, it's your boy Ethan, hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to another video, day 3 of LA, and here we are. We're right outside 1340, the office, and we're having a little friendly home game with a few of Justin's buddies. So we'll see how this goes, trying out something new every time. LA poker scene, nice deep dive into, just what a friendly home game would look like. So we'll see what's going on. Hopefully you enjoy the video. We should bounce back from last one, hopefully. That was last night, and I got back home at like 7 a.m. and I've had like 3 hours of sleep. We're grinding it out again, so we'll see how this goes. Should be a good time. Should be just super casual, and yeah, wish us luck. We need some run good, and yeah, with that said, let's just dive right into it.
I've been mixing liquor in my system. Off the gram, I follow my intuition. Old friends wishing things could be different. And it could have been if they would have listened. Asking why there's always something in my cup now. Baby,
So the first few hands here are going to be short-handed in this friendly 5-5 home game. So starting stack of $1,000, I have ace-9 offsuit on the button here, and the cutoff opens to 20. I decided to 3-bet this hand to $70 on the button in position, facing technically an undergun open. I think ace-9 is, I don't really know what a normal 3-bet range would be four-handed, but here we're going with this one. The cutoff makes the call, and we're going heads up to a flop. The flop is 10-9-10 2 spades. Flopping a pair, also holding the ace of spades in my hand. He checks, and definitely going to be c-betting on this board just to protect my pair of nines. I throw out a bet of $60, and now on this board texture, he decides to raise. He puts in a check raise to $210. This is one of the very first hands of the session, and we're getting into it here. First hand in, very early on. I don't like folding, so he doesn't have too much behind, about $200-ish left, but I don't fold just yet. I make the call, and we're going to a turn. The turn is the 7 of clubs, brings in the backdoor flush draw, and now, as expected, he's going to jam his entire check raising range here. He jams for $205. It's going to be pretty hard to fold here given the amount, but I'm hoping he's full of it, hoping he's on a flush draw of some sorts. It's also very ambitious to think so, since I do hold the ace of spades. This is probably a pretty bad call long term, but early on in the session, we don't like to fold. I make the call. We decide on whether we want to run it once or twice. I'm always indifferent. He says twice, and we're going to two different rivers. The first river is the Queen of Diamonds. The second river is a 4. He shows us King Jack of Spades, so he had a gutter ball and combo draw on the flop. Got there on the first board, didn't get there on the second board, and we're chopping this pot up. Second hand to go, 7-deuce offsuit in the button. They're playing four-handed, and the fun thing about this game is that there is a $25 bounty from each player if you win with 7-deuce after the flop. So I opened it up to $20 here with the 7-deuce bounty on, and the small blind makes the call. So heads up to a flop. The flop is 10-8-6 2 spades. Here you can hear Tyler talking about how this would be a good flop for 7-deuce, and damn right, it is a good flop for 7-deuce. The small blind checks. I throw out a bet of $25, and the small blind decides to call. The turn is quite the bink. It is a 9, hitting our gutter right away. He checks, and no need to barrel and bluff at this anymore. We decide to size way down, go for value, and bets $40. With this $40 bet, he continues once again, so we're feeling good about this. It's like we're going to win the bounty and also win the pot. The river comes the 10 of spades, though. That's going to make things a little difficult. Board is literally all over the place. Straight isn't nutted anymore, but when he checks, let's just try to extract a little bit of value here. There are a lot of two-pair combos, boat combos, and flushes out there, but against a specific player, I think he can call fairly light, so I down bet to $30. He makes the call with 3-6 offsuit for a pair of sixes. We're going to take this one down. We win the pot, and we win $25 from the other 3 players at the table, picking up the bounty, $75 this time. Shortly after that, we pick up 7-deuce once again, and we're on the button, still four-handed here. So I'm going to open this up to $20, of course, with the 7-deuce, and once again, I'm against the small blind player who makes the call. We're off to a flop, which comes King 7-3 all spades. So if we're playing 7-deuce, I think middle pairs can be pretty good enough. So when he checks to us, I'm going to c-bet $25, and the small blind player once again makes the call for 25. The turn comes the 6 of hearts here, and he has about $100 behind. And when he checks to us, I think we're just going to rip it in the middle here. We are incentivized to take this down right now, or also just charge the max for any spade draw combinations as well. So expecting to be good here a lot of time, playing this hand for value. So I rip it in, he folds, and once again, we're showing the good old 7-deuce, picking up $75, and our bounty total is up to $150 early on in the session. Guys, you won't freaking believe it. Third time in a row here. Third time in this session. 7-deuce again, now in the small blind. There's a button open to $15, and I am more incentivized to flat call here because the 7-deuce bounty is only on if you win it after the flop. So we decide to make the call here. If it was pre-flop or anything like that, obviously I'd 3-bet, but I call and we're going heads up to a flop. The flop is 7-6-3-2 diamonds. This is just crazy how we keep flopping pairs, and especially top pair with 7-deuce. So I donk out $20 here to protect my top pair holding. With his $20 bet, he makes the call. The turn comes the Queen of Hearts. It's not the best card for us, but I still think with 7-deuce here, we're going to have to protect our pair, hoping to play for value and hoping that we're good. So I bet really small once again, and I throw out $30. After thinking things over for this $30 bet, he folds, and you know the drill, boys. Pay up. I show my hand, and we're picking up another $25 from the other 3 players. Our bounty is now up to $225.
Thank you, Justin.
Okay, enough with the 7-deuce shenanigans for now. That's on hold. We pick up Jack 10 of spades in the small blind, still 4-handed in this spot. The cutoff opens up to $20, and seeing that he did raise King Jack of spades from the cutoff before, playing a little bit tighter than the rest of the players here, I just flat call in position, and the big blind calls as well. The flop comes Queen 8-3 2 spades. The cutoff c-bets $35, and out of position here with our combo draw. I'm very incentivized to check raise this, so with the combo draw here, certainly going to be doing that. I size to $115, and with this action, unexpectedly, the big blind actually calls this 115, and he has about $250 behind. So I'm definitely planning on just probably barreling and jamming any turn card. When the cutoff folds, we're going heads up to a turn, hoping to improve. The turn is the 7 of spades, thank goodness, and this is just an easy spot to rip it in here. I can be doing this with a number of different hands, but now I can do this for value, which is really nice. So I rip it all in there, and he tanks for a while, ends up putting in the call, and he shows us ace-queen with the ace of spades. The river comes in 8. We take this one down, stack the opponent, and chip up in this scenario. The following hand, yeah, you guessed it. 7-deuce offsuit again in the big blind this time, still 4-handed. The cutoff limps, there's a button raised to $25, and obviously I am never going to be folding here. So I decide to call, and the cutoff that limped actually folds. So heads up to a flop, which comes 10-6-3 rainbow. I check to the button, and he bets $20. Very dry board, hoping he doesn't really connect too hard with it, but I decide to put in that check raise because we've got to win this hand somehow to pick up the bounty. I check raise to $75, and thinking things over a little bit from him, he makes the call. The turn comes a 7. So this is pretty good here. This is actually very strange now because I don't know if I still want to be bluffing at this or somehow start playing for value with our turned pair. With that said, I'm just going to play it very standardly, or unstandardly actually. I decided to rip it all in. He has about $220 effective, so we're all in. We're just hoping for a fold. I don't actually think a 10x holding is going to be folding too much, so this jam probably seems pretty bad in hindsight, but he folds ace-6 offsuits, and this is the 4th time we're picking up the 7-deuce bounty. $25 from the other 3 players. We are chipping up big time with this bounty. Table is filled up a little bit now. We pick up pocket nines playing six-handed. I'm in the small blind, and the cutoff opens up the action at $20, and from what I've seen, he's a very solid player. From the cutoff, certainly can have a much wider opening range. The button makes the call, who is fairly new to poker, it seems like. So here with pocket nines in the small blind, I decide to raise up the variance in 3-bets. This can certainly go either way, but I think taking the more aggressive route on this game here is going to do the trick. So I 3-bet to $100. The cutoff thinks about it and folds. Now the button makes the call, and he's got about $370 behind in his stack. So we're off to a flop. And the flop comes 9-3-4 rainbow. Here, pretty dry board nonetheless. I decided to just check, and he checks it back. The turn is a deuce. Now start to size up here. Maybe I can rep some sort of ace-x holding that wants to get a fold. So we size to $95. And without too much thinking, he decides to rip it all in. I'm never folding. We snap call, toss that chip in the middle, and I announce that I have a set. And he says that he's got nothing, and he wants to run it twice. So, like I said, always very indifferent about it. So let's go to 2 rivers here on a pretty big board. We're thinking we're going to scoop this one up. The first river comes a 9. Beautiful. There's quads. And the second river, I don't really know, but we're going to take down both boards. Nice to get quads. And also, did I mention Bounty? Look at us just taking up the $25 from each player. Just free money coming our way after winning a really big pot as well. Shout out to Justin for the solid dealing.
Thanks, Justin. Yeah.
After river and quads, the very next hand we get, of course, 7-deuce offsuit on the button. Who would have thought? I'm still trying to rack up my chips here, but on the button, I opened it up to $20, and only the big blind makes the call, so heads up to a flop. The flop is 10, 7-deuce, all diamonds. You cannot make this up. No way. He checks, and pretty much confident that I'm going to be winning money on this hand no matter what. I throw out a $50 C-bet. He folds. And guess what, boys? Flipping this over, racking up another $25. This is our 5th 7-deuce bonus, and we've made a lot of money just from winning hands with 7-deuce.
It's 4.
5.
That's 5.
It's 5, man. Thank
I
you.
think I've lost my entire stack.
Oh, you
just
just
off
not
of
in.
7.
That is a degenerate.
This next hand here with Queen 6 of clubs on the button playing 5-handed. There's a cutoff player who's fairly new. He limps, and here I decided to put this in my raising range against the player. A little bit wide, but I raised to $25. The blinds get out of the way, and the cutoff calls. So going to a flop heads up, and the flop is Queen Jack 5 rainbow. He leads out for $25, and with top pair, I'm not going to go anywhere. A very suspect ticker, but I don't really know what he's actually doing this with. Donk leading, but we'll see a turn. I make the call, and the turn comes the 6 of diamonds. Perfect. Brings in a backdoor flush draw, and once again, he throws out a very small bet of $25. This is obviously a very easy spot to raise, considering we have 2 pair here, so I size up to $125. I know he can call fairly light, and I'm just hoping he has some sort of 2-pair combo, hoping that my 6 suck down him on some sort. After thinking things over for a little bit, he makes the call for $125, and we're off to a river. The river is the 4 of diamonds. It's not the best card as we can't get max value anymore with the flush out there, but decent news, he leads out for $100. With this bet here, I'm never folding, but I'm trying to figure out if there's any way that I can get thin value with a raise. Very player dependent, and against him, I think that there's very much merit to do so. He can call with a lot of 1-pair holdings. He can call with maybe some sort of Jack X holding as well, potentially. So we're trying to make this pretty small to keep his range as wide as possible when he calls our raise. We decided to size up to $225, just a hair over a min raise. He tanks for quite some time and ultimately puts in a chip for a call. Shows us Queen 7, and just like that, just as we expected, we have the good old suck out. We take this one down, and nice to suck out with 2-pair on the turn.
And then content started coming in, and now it's like,
Last hand of the night, we pick up Ace-9 of clubs in the cutoff. There's a hijack open to $10, and here on the cutoff, I decided to 3-bet to 40 on playable hands, and we definitely want to isolate. No isolation here as the button makes the call and the hijack also calls. So let's go to a flop. The flop is king, queen, 6, 2 clubs. And once again, this hijack player decides to lead out for $75 into the field. With the nut flush draw, I'm never going anywhere. So I'm just going to flat call and call the 75. And we get some action because the button is going to jam $525 total. This is not ideal for us. We just want to see a turn. But then things get a little bit more dicey as the hijack now calls for $430 total. And now action's onto me. I covered both of those players with about $1,150 in the middle. I have $450 to call. This is really not the best price that we're given here. This is just really annoying. Just simply not priced in here, as probably some of them also have clubs to block our draw. And I don't know. I just don't like it. At the end of the day, it just becomes a math problem, and the math problem says that I should be folding all the time. So it's always really annoying to fold the nut flush draw, but when you're not priced in, you're not priced in. I decide to fold. The two players show their hands. Hijack with pocket kings for top sets, and the cutoff with queen 5 of clubs for middle pair and the club draw. Hopefully we can fade some clubs and feel good about ourselves. The turn comes immediate help in the 10 of clubs. Ugh, that is brutal. The river, I'm hoping it pairs the board, does not pair the board in the 7 of spades. Queen 5 is going to be taking this down, who's on the button here. Unfortunate for that, but I'm out of this one. Queen 5 taking it down.
So we just wrapped up the friendly little game there. So final numbers, we played for about 4.5 hours. It's about 1 a.m. right now, and we were in for 1,100, out for 2,100. Decent time. The 5 freaking 7-deuce hands was really great. And shout out to Stone.
I'm back.
Tyler.
Same hoodie as yesterday.
Let's go. Really? All right, we'll try running it up. Yeah, we're ending things off. There's
like all those seven
thanks
deuces
thanks
I
for the
gave you
quads,
tonight?
dude, and the 7 deuces. Yeah, fantastic
I wish I was able
stuff.
to play today. I had a deal.
Yeah, I appreciate that. No,
Thanks for tipping, though.
You got it.
Appreciate it.
You got it. So heading out to Commerce. So watch out for the next video. 1 a.m. We're driving there now. We're on some D-Gen shit, and watch out for the next video because we're gonna get in some stuff. First time at the Commerce, gonna check it out. Hopefully enjoy this video. Leave a like, smash that like button, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.